So I wanted to talk today about a discussion protocol that I adapted from something that I learned years ago from the Kagan Corporation. The original structure is called fan and pick. You put discussion questions on cards, and a student fans the cards face down, another student picks a card, fan and pick, reads it out loud. The next student in the circle answers the question fully. Student after that paraphrases the response, then another student praises the response very specifically. I hadn't thought about X until you mentioned it, or I like how you brought up this interesting point. I'm trying to get kids into the habit of listening actively and responding to specific issues as opposed to more general sort of flabby compliments like, it was good. My students had trouble moving beyond paraphrasing as just a rote behavior, and also delimiting what was important in a paraphrase and what was really just sort of details. So I created what I'm calling understand and expand. The first part of the structure is exactly the same: the fanning, the picking, the reading the question, the answering it in detail. But then the next student, they have to use what the Kagans refer to as a gambit. I call them sentence frames that set up what they understand. While I get what you're saying about, I too also realize that blank. And then expand either by adding more information. They can also disagree. We want to teach kids to be critical thinkers, but they have to disagree respectfully. So something along the lines of, while I get what you're saying about X, another way of looking at it might be, I have video of a group of teachers using understand and expand as a team building activity where they were just getting to know each other. They were answering questions about themselves as teachers.
Tell about a student for whom you'd like a do-over. Why this student rather than any other?
I think of one that I actually have right now. Just looking at where he came from last year and how he never wanted to be at school, period. And this year he's actually coming to school. Doesn't always participate, doesn't always do his work, but he's there. And he started trying. So I think if we could just have him for the rest of this year and next year, just to see the growth and what happens, would be pretty awesome. But,
okay. Well, like you, I had a little fella that he wasn't a very good student at all, and there are times I wish I really would have been able to have more time just to work with him, because he had a really horrible home life. And on this one, I'll start crying in a minute. But on this Friday, he gave me a hug, and then on Monday, we got a note that he was not coming back to our school. Now, I held him as much as I could, but there were just times I wish I'd just could have had him just a little bit more, just a little bit more.
Well, I get what you're saying about the certificates and earning the awards. Another way to look at it is you got all of the other ones. Really? And that's to focus on the one that you didn't get.
He literally became Shakespeare right in front of me. When he read King Lear, I mean, I could feel it and I could understand everything that he was saying. And when I finally saw that in college, I just knew, like, this is what I want. This is what I want to do. I want to teach Shakespeare. I want to be with kids. Make them feel that passion that he did.
I appreciate your insight about the fact that in high school, read it, come back, and we'll talk about it. I hated school. So until I went to college, college is where everything came to light for me. Like, people were in it for a particular subject they were passionate about, and I became passionate about the fact that I went 12 years with that dead, empty, this is not alive feeling.
And the second group of teachers is using Understand and Expand to answer a list of open-ended questions on Lincoln's second inaugural address.
In paragraph 3, what distinction does Lincoln make about each side in the conflict?
I think he really emphasizes that it's neither side's fault. He's not trying to polarize the country. That's not his purpose. So he's making that distinction that we both wanted different things, and they both weren't willing to compromise to avoid war. So therefore, war happened.
And I agree with that absolutely. I think he's not only saying it's neither side's fault, he's also sort of saying it's both sides' fault, because he has that line, one side would make war rather than let the nation survive, and the other would accept war rather than let it perish. We're all at fault here.
So, who does Lincoln blame for the war, and what quotation from the speech best supports your assertion?
It seems that I don't know that he's blaming one side. He says the prayers of both could not be answered. That of neither has been answered fully. And he says God gives both to the North and the South this terrible war. And so it seems like he's holding both sides accountable in different ways.
I would agree with that. I think this is the most complex question on the list. And even when you look at the third paragraph, and he talks about both parties didn't want the war, but one would rather let the nation survive, and one would accept war rather than let it perish. So while it blames the South a little bit, it also says the North said we need to go to war to protect the nation. He also talks about the will of God and ending slavery too. So he talks about so many different complex parties.